Welcome to the Franchise Freedom Podcast, where you can escape the corporate trap through franchise ownership.
This is the anxiety levels are really high. You don't know what you don't know. I know when I started over 20 years, close to 20 years ago in franchising, there was all these things on my mind. Who do I hire? Who do I get for payroll? When do I set up my legal entity? What about all the other legal documents? Do I need a franchise attorney? There's so many moving parts, and we help where we can. But I like that you have that checklist, putting yourself in their shoes. Basically, many of them have never owned the business before, so really giving them kind of step by step, as you mentioned. These are the things you have to do. Maybe not throwing it all on their plate, but just saying maybe these are the first 5 things you need to do. Break it down, because it does become overwhelming if you've never done it before. And some people may be still transitioning out of a job, or maybe they just left their job, but they're prioritizing everything. When do I order the truck? When do I start hiring employees? So that roadmap, that guide, I think is crucial, and it definitely helps with the nerves and helping them make better decisions. In that we have a plan, and these are the 5 items we have to tackle this week. So that's a big part, and those are some of the questions and that I get concerns, like where the heck do I even start? And I go, let the franchisor will assist you in that process. What else stands out to you from a support standpoint with Resto Pro? We'll call it Be Rugged, because you have multiple brands that really go over and beyond supporting franchise owners. A lot of these owners are first-time owners. So what else from a support standpoint are you offering to assist them?
I think what sets us apart and what allows us to support is the camaraderie and the care. I am not just here to take a royalty. We have always said that we want these brands to change people's lives, right? They were doing what they were doing. They invested their money in something, and we want to give them the roadmap to be able to be successful. And I think A, listening, B, being innovative. I always tell people, they're like, wow, the training for when we started as an early adopter, 0 to 30, looks completely different now at 105 and 110 and things like that. And I said, because everybody's human, right? And when we get these questions and presentations or in training, in our new owner training, and we come across somebody, I think it is always really important to have an open mind and being able to make the system better and to ask questions. We have discovery days, and probably about 3 months ago, we had about 15 people in this discovery day. And I looked at one of my coworkers that we were presenting with, and I said, we have a problem. She said, I thought that discovery day went really great. And I said, no, the discovery day went great, but we've made the presentation where nobody had any questions. And that makes me nervous. And she was like, well, that means we've made the presentation great after everyone. And I said, but we need some interaction. We need to be able to challenge some of these owners to get better with our presentation. Is it that we should be diving into more digital marketing and what our plan is for that? Should we be diving into what you want to look for in recruiting? Where that additional is. And I think if you have an open mind to keep challenging the system and yourself to become better, I think that support just falls in line of what we're providing our owners. If you stay stagnant, your owners are going to stay stagnant. And I don't think that's a good way to stay in market. I don't think that is a good way to build a brand. But more importantly, you got to be up with the times and know and have the flexibility to make some positive changes to retain more market share.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to learn how to make the transition from corporate to owning your franchise, join Giuseppe on the next episode. You can also follow on all social media platforms and achieve financial and time freedom today.